Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is currently 11:50 at night on a Wednesday, so it's about to turn 12 in 10 minutes, and I have decided to do a 24-hour readathon. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go take off my makeup, get into something more comfy. Then we're gonna come back downstairs, make some coffee, and then we will talk about all the books that I have lined up for this readathon and the reason why I'm doing this readathon. Sorry if my hand is shaky. I forgot my tripod upstairs, but I wanted to get this started now so that I have enough time to go and take all this makeup off. My lipstick is all smeared because it's almost 12 o'clock at night and I've had this makeup on all day, so I have like red lipstick everywhere. But anyways, let's go take off this makeup and then we will talk. I got my coffee, I got my stack of books, I got my Wooli, and let's get this started. It's already 12:15, so the readathon has commenced. There's my Wooli, there's my Jet, and here's my Quincy. I got my Crew, and here's my Jazzy. And I am ready to get this readathon on the road. So I got a stack of books here. Obviously, I'm not gonna finish them all, but I like to have my choice. And some of these books are books that I did have on my TBR for December. Now, the reason why I decided to do this readathon is because we are already on December 19th. I think today is already. It's hit December 19th and I've only finished 2 books for the month. So I just wanted to get a little progress going on my TBR and on my finished books. So with that being said, I do have The Winter People here with me. This is a book that carried on from last week. I have literally like that much left, this much left to read. So it's probably around 100 pages that I have to read. I want to get this finished. This book is so good, and the reason why it's taken me so long is not because it's a bad book, but it's just because I have so many books that I want to read and I have so many books started that I kind of overwhelmed myself a little bit, and also with just everything that's been going on. It's only been 2 months that we've been here. My mom got here about a month ago. So we've just really been exploring the city and just unpacking and trying to figure out, you know, just trying to get my life together. So for that reason, my reading has been kind of like, it's taken a hit. So this is the first book that I want to start, or not that I want to start, but this is the first book I want to pick up to finish. Like I said, 100 pages left. This is going to be my first one that I'm going to get done. And then I also am reading Served Cold, which is a collection of short stories by Alan Baxter. I've just read the first 2 stories of this, and sorry for the glare, but we are doing a book party for the Nightworms blog, and we're all reviewing this book. There's going to be a blog post about it. I think I talked about this in my Nightworms unpackaging video, that we are all doing like a little review of this, and it's going to go up on the blog with pictures and everything, and we are all reviewing it on different platforms. We're reviewing it on Goodreads, on Amazon, and anywhere where we could review. You will see my review also on my Instagram account, which is where mostly I post reviews. I've been kind of slacking on reviews lately, but that's besides the point. So I do want to either get this finished or at least get halfway through with the stories. Like I said, it's short stories. So my thought process is this. I want to finish this. After I finish that, I want to read a couple of short stories, maybe 1 short story, and then dive into one of these other books. So my goal this month was to read a lot of Christmas and winter horror. I was also in the mood for like a very cozy Christmas mystery. I've never read a Christmas mystery, so I was feeling that at the beginning of the month. I was just craving that kind of book. So I went to the library and I checked out Ornaments of Death by Jane K. Cleland. I've never heard of this author. I've never heard of this book. I just went, searched through the fiction section, and just happened to bump into this book. It's a mystery, and it's ornaments, it's Christmas, there's a Christmas tree. So I was like, I just picked it up. I know nothing about this book. I didn't read the synopsis. I figured it was a cozy Christmas mystery. So I picked it up. I have to return this book on the 20th, which is on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So I need to read this book. So this is definitely on the plans for this readathon. After that, I want to get into a couple more short stories of this. The next 3 books that I have are obviously, if I do finish everything else, these other 2 books, and I do get like about a few short stories in, I want to read one of these. My Bookstie sent me a Christmas package today, and one of the books that she sent me is Dying for Christmas by Tammy Cohen. She loved this book so much. She just finished reading it, and she loved it so much that she sent it to me. She bought me my own copy. And she says it's so good. It is a thriller. It says a downright chilling psychological suspense novel. Those are some of my favorite types of like horror or thriller books, are psychological kinds of stories. So I feel like I'm gonna love this. Thank you so much, Eleni, for this. This is in the runner-up of books that I want to read. Then I have 2 other books, Ladies of Horror Fiction. They are an Instagram account. They also have a blog, I believe, and they run a group over on Goodreads. They pick out books to read every month, like a book club kind of thing, and they're all books, horror books written by females, by lady authors, by women. So the book of the month, the book for December, is The Cult Called Freedom House by Stephanie Evelyn. I am dying to read this book, but like I said, I just haven't been able to read a lot. So this is a fairly short book. I really want to get to this book. Every time I say I want to read one of the books that they're hosting, I never get to it, but I really, really want to get to this one. And then I am also participating in a read along for House of Salt and Sorrows, which everybody, almost the majority of the people in that group, have finished the book already, and I haven't even started. So that's my pile of books. That's what I want to read. Obviously, I'm going to start with the Winter Peeper. Peeper? What's Peeper? I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to continue reading this and try to get it finished. So let's do this, people. Hey you guys, so it's currently like 2:45 in the morning. I have my little Harry Potter hoodie blanket on because it is 26 degrees outside, and even though I have the heater on, it's still cold in here. So I just pulled out my cozy Harry Potter blanket. I just finished The Winter People by Jennifer McMahon. Let me take this off because I look kind of ridiculous right now. It felt cozy though. So I just finished The Winter People, like I was saying, and that book was phenomenal. Oh my gosh, how good. In this book, we're following two different timelines. We're following 1908. We're following a couple different timelines. We're following Sarah in 1886, I believe, as a little girl, and her story of just how she was brought up, and her father, and then this lady, auntie, who raised her. Her mother died giving birth to her, and then this lady, auntie, just took on the responsibility of raising her, Sarah, and her brother and sister, and I guess being there for their father. But some tragic events happen. Next thing you know, Sarah tells us that something happened to auntie and her brother, and they both died. Sarah grows up, and now we're into 1903, and we're into the story of her husband, and her daughter Gertrude. So we're following that timeline and what's happening there. So how we're following that storyline is that there are some diary pages from Sarah of some secrets. And so we're following these diary pages that were found with some secrets written in these diary pages. But she is found dead in the back of her house, skinned alive. Her husband is believed to have murdered her and skinned her alive. So we're trying to figure out that mystery. How did Sarah die? And through these diary pages, we're finding out. But then we're also following present time of this family that actually lives in that same farmhouse, and some mysteries that are going on behind there. And obviously these two storylines combine to form the story. This book was so well written. Jennifer McMahon just knows how to write. I read The Invited by her earlier on this year. I was lucky enough to get an ARC through NetGalley, and I enjoyed that book so much. When I was reading that book, I know there was a lot of people talking about how that book was nothing compared to this. And now that I read that one first, so I didn't have anything to compare it to, and I loved that book. It's so well written. It's so rich in detail. It's like it's like you're in the story, like you're in the scene watching everything unfold. Now that I read this one, it's the same thing with this one, but the story to this one is so much better. The plot to this one is so much better. It's so intricate, and it's just wonderful. The dialogue, the mystery behind it, it was just so well written. I'm gonna end up giving this book 5 stars. I really, really loved it. So like I said, I think it's like 250, 255 right now. I'm not in the mood to read a short story right now, but I am going to pick up Ornaments of Death by Jane Cleland and see what this is all about, see how I feel about this. Read a couple pages, read a couple chapters and see how I like it and if I'm going to continue on with it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I have all my puppies sleeping over here. Look at them. And then I have this one over here. They're all snoring away. So yeah, I'm still going strong. I thought I would be like falling asleep by now, but I'm not. I'm just cold. I'm so cold. I think laying down like this is gonna be a big mistake. This is the first time I lay down. Hey, you could see me on my glasses. This is the first time I lay down since I started this readathon. It's like 3:30 right now. And I don't think I should be laying down like this because I'm going to fall asleep reading. But I still haven't started Ornaments of Death. It's just really hard for me to go from like a book to another book. I have to take like a little bit of a break in between. So I just got a social media for a little bit. You could see me and my glasses. Hello. I just got a social media for a little bit and scrolled, and now I'm going to start Ornaments of Death and see what I think. I actually logged it into my Goodreads. I scanned it into my Goodreads, and it says it's like book number 10. It's like a series, and it's a Josie Prescott Antiques mystery, and it says that it's book number 10. So I'm hoping, because I don't think that with these books you really need to read them in order. I like to because I'm weird like that. But this is the only one they had at and look so ridiculous. This is the only one they had at the library, so it's not like I could have read any other ones. But usually like books like this, you don't have to read them in order. Hey, Willie! Where you going? Where? Oh, stretchy, stretchy. Where you going? What you doing? What you doing? Hi, Woodley. Oh, well, okay. Better not fart. His farts are lethal. So it is 4 in the morning, and I am like super sleepy. I read about 10 pages. Let me see. Yeah, I think I've reached chapter 2 in the book, and I think that's like 10 pages in or something like that. I will say that the writing is like really tiny. I'm exactly on page 10. How funny. I didn't expect that to happen, but you see the writing is like tiny on the page. Is it just me? But too soon to tell if I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's catching me. I want to continue. But I'm sleepy. And I don't know if I should just get up, walk around, maybe eat a little snack or something, and then try and read some more. But I just might go to sleep. Hey everybody, good morning. I'm coming to you with my sexy morning voice. It's currently 8:30 in the morning, and I am so proud of myself. One of the reasons why I fail at 24-hour readathons is because I like to sleep. And when I mean I like to sleep, like sleep, just once I fall asleep, like it just takes over my life, and it's so hard for me to wake up, and I need to sleep in order to function. I need, a few hours of sleep. Sorry. And last night, after I updated you guys the last time, I got up, I got myself a little snack, sat back down. I read a little more. When I updated you guys, I was on page 10 of Ornaments of Death, and now I'm on page 20. So I read another 10 pages, but I was just like sleepy. So I put the dogs up, and I came upstairs, and I thought, since I have to like go up the stairs and put pajamas on and all that, I thought, okay, well, I'll probably wake up again, so I'll just pick up an ebook while I get sleepy again. And so I decided to start reading, I forgot the name of it, but it's a book that I wanted to read last year, like the Christmas book. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll just read that. So it's A Boy Called Christmas. And I really wanted to read this last year, and I just didn't get to it. So I thought, okay, well, I'll read it in bed. It'll be perfect. It's a Christmas book, whatever. I fell asleep at 4:30. So I think I read for like 10 minutes. So I went to bed at 4:30. Here it is, 8:30. My husband just left for work. I opened the blinds up, and I'm like, let's do this. I'm going to get some reading done. I don't know if I'm going to continue with this one right now or if I want to start something else. If I just want to read A Boy Called Christmas. If I want to pick up one of my other books. I did download the audiobook for House of Salt and Sorrows last night. So during the day while I got things to do, I can listen to that audiobook. So I have it ready to go. But I'm going to give this a couple more chapters and see how it is. And we'll go from there. Hey guys, so it is currently 10:50 in the morning. And I wanted to give you a little update on Ornaments of Death. I am 50 pages in. Earlier today in the morning when I was reading, after I updated you guys, I was reading and I think I got like 15 pages in and I fell asleep reading. I didn't even notice. So by the time I woke up, I think it was like 10 in the morning or something like that. And oops. So I got up, I went downstairs and I read a little bit more. I'm 50 pages in. I don't know how I feel about the story yet. So far what has happened is we got Josie. She is an antiques dealer and she apparently has this show on TV and she's throwing a party that night for her clients. It's the holidays, and but the day prior to that she gets a phone call from this man Ian, and apparently Ian is like a distant cousin or some kind of relative, and he found her because he started doing like this genealogy tree or research on his family, and he found her because they're somehow related. They're like distant cousins, I believe. And so she was all excited because she just didn't have a family. I think her mom passed away or something, and she was like an only child, and so she was excited. So he ends up coming to her office and they end up meeting in person right before the party. So the party happens and everything's okay. But the next day, Ian goes missing. Nobody has heard from him. She's gone to his hotel room. He doesn't open the door. She's called and they just can't find him, and they don't want to fill out a missing persons report yet. And she's all worried and she's like, I don't know what's going on. Mind you, when the whole party is going on, she sees this mysterious woman peeking into the window, I guess into the venue of where she's having her party. And she's having her party at her own business. And she sees this woman peek in and she's like, she finds it weird, but whatever, the night continues. So I don't know if that's going to take, if that's going to play into the story at all. But so far we just have Ian missing and she's trying to figure out what is going on. And so while it is good, I mean, it is okay, I just find some areas to be like over explaining, or like the dialogue is a little bit too like detailed in a way. I don't know, like the dialogue is a little bit like blah, but I'm gonna continue. I'm 50 pages in. I'm gonna see where it goes. I'm gonna try to get to like halfway through the book and see what, I mean, I want to know what's going on with Ethan. Who's Ethan? I want to know what's going on with Ian now. Like I want to see what's going on? What happened? Is he dead? Did somebody, what happened? My mom made me an extra large, I mean, this is my head and look at the mug. An extra large mug of coffee. I've already been drinking from it, obviously. But I love this mug so much. This is my favorite Christmas mug. Every time Christmas comes around, anytime Thanksgiving comes around that we're starting to like decorate and stuff, I look for my mug because I just love it so much. It's so cute. We are 9 or 10 hours into the ReadAthon, and I haven't done much reading. I've only read like 150 pages so far, 170 pages so far, which sucks so much. Okay, so it's currently 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and honestly, I haven't made any progress on Ornaments of Death. I read a little bit more. I think I read like 5 or 6 more pages of it. But then I sat down, I had some brunch with my mom, and was just hanging out with her and my daughter for a little bit. What I'm gonna do now is, because I have a couple things to do, my whole plan today was just sit down and read, but I do have like a little bit of laundry to do, and also like I want to make my bed, and I have to go and take care of that box that's been on my bathroom floor for like a month, because that's just stuff that I didn't know what to do with, because our bathroom here is smaller in this house. So we bought that furniture in IKEA, and I'm just going to put everything on there. So while I'm doing all of that, I am going to listen to House of Salt and Sorrow by Aaron A. Craig. I did find the audiobook on Scribd, so I'm going to change. I'm going to put something on my face. I usually don't put makeup on every day, but I've found recently that I've been kind of like low feeling on my self-esteem and stuff, because I've gained a few pounds, more than a few pounds, with the stress of moving and everything. I've been emotionally eating, and it's the holidays. You know that the holiday season is among us when your belt buckle doesn't buckle in the same hole, and you got to go to the hole prior. Yeah, so I've been feeling kind of low and down with my self-esteem and with myself lately. So I found that if I just put a little something on my face, number one, it helps me use the ridiculous amount of makeup that I have. And number two, it just brightens me up a little bit. And plus, it's like just the way also that I can listen to my audiobook and just do something, for myself. It's almost like self-care with makeup. No? Yes? For me it is, at least. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to start listening to House of Salt and Sorrow. I have been so excited for this book. I've been wanting to read it forever. I've had it for like the past 2 months. I got it off of Book of the Month. And I'm just so 2 months, or whenever it came out on Book of the Month, I was able to get it that first month. And so August. So I've had it since August. So I'm so excited to start reading this. And this is for a buddy read that 2 of my friends over on Instagram are having, Chandra and Janelle. They host buddy reads every month. I just found out about it this month, and I'm so happy that I did, because this is the book for the month. So excited. I'm going to go and do it. I'm going to stop blabbering because I could stay here all day talking. Hey guys, so a little update. It is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We are about 17 hours into the readathon, and I've just been listening to my audiobook, cleaning the bathroom. Don't mind these shirts, they're just shirts that need to be ironed, and I have them there so that I know. I don't iron, but I've always been afraid to iron, but whatever. So a little update. I've been listening to House of Salt and Sorrow on audio, obviously. And I'm on chapter 16, which is around page 143. But I don't know exactly where on chapter 16 I am. So I'm really liking this. So this is supposed to be a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses. Or it has like various names, the fairy tale. Very grim. Obviously, it's a grim fairy tale. But I'm really enjoying this. It's very whimsical in a way. But I will say that this is marketed as... why did I just sound so proper? It's marketed as a horror, if I'm not mistaken, or a darker story. I don't know necessarily if it's, I should have researched this before, but I don't know if it's necessarily like a horror, but like it's supposed to be like a darker tale. But to me, it's more whimsical in tone. So I'm wanting more of that dark tone. There are some creepy parts where she interacts with her youngest sister, Verity. But basically, there were 12 sisters at one point, but now there is only 7 or 8, I believe. 3 of them have died, and they seemed... The rumor around town is that they're cursed, and so everybody tries to really stay away from them. So we're following, obviously, the tale of all of this family, but we're following our main character, Annalie. And Annalie is one of the sisters. She is trying to solve a mystery. So when we start off the book, we're thrown into the story with them being at at Eulady's funeral. Eulady was the latest sister that has died. She's the third sister that has died. But Annalie is a little bit unsettled with this, and she's trying to figure out if there's a mystery behind her sister's death or if it really was an accident. Going through that story, I just wish it was darker. Like I said before, I wish it was just a tad bit darker. It doesn't seem to reach that sense or that darkness that I went into the story thinking that it had. But I'm still enjoying it. The narrator is pretty good. There are a couple moments where she just throws me off with her. She has like this nasally kind of talking through some parts, and I'm just like, okay. But other than that, it's a pretty good story. So almost at the halfway point. I'm hoping to finish this, and I'm hoping to also finish Ornaments of Death. But really quick, I just got a package at my door, and I think this is from Harper. Yeah, it's from HarperCollins, so I'm so excited. I knew what was in here because the lady did email me, but I can't remember what it is. So oh, Grace is Gone by Emily Elger. So this is a thriller. I usually get thrillers from publishers. I don't know why when I'm more centered around horror, but I'm not complaining because I love me a good thriller. And I have actually found some really good thrillers through these publishers that send me these books. But I'm excited for this. A haunting crime scene, a beloved child missing, the hunt is on. So, oh, it looks good. Grace is Gone, so be on the lookout for this review. I'm gonna finish cleaning up the bathroom because my mom had made some lunch and I wanted to eat really quick, and I was just downstairs. So I'm gonna finish cleaning my bathroom, and I'm gonna continue listening to House of Salt and Sorrows. You didn't know I could sing, did ya? I can't sing. 3 more hours left on this Marcy's Christmas 24-hour readathon. That's not even what I'm calling it. So but yeah, 3 hours. So let me tell you what my progress is so far. I am on chapter 25 of House of Salt and Sorrow. That is around page 248. So I literally only have like the last quarter maybe of the book left. Really liking it. We did get like a really creepy scene, but I didn't find it like creepy enough. But again, you have to realize that I read pretty dark books in comparison to this. For a person that doesn't read, that is not very in a big what? I just ate, you guys. So I'm not making a lot of sense. I'm trying to put in my video for tomorrow. I have to edit tonight after the readathon. I have to stay up for a little bit and edit my November wrap-up, which I completely forgot to do today. I should have done today, but either way, there was no way I could have done it because I was listening to the audiobook, so I could clean and stuff, but in order to edit, I have to like hear, so duh. Either way, for the person that doesn't read, that doesn't read horror, this would be, I think, pretty scoopy. Wow. Pretty spooky. I need sleep. This would be pretty spooky and dark. There's a scene here where she thinks she encounters her dead sisters, and there's like, it's dark in those parts, but I really do like it. I love the reimagining of the 12 dancing princesses. I love that story so much. I actually have it there, and I read it when I heard that this book was coming out. I reread that story, and I just love that story. It's like it's pretty crazy. So yeah, that's what's going on with this. I think I'll be able to finish it. I have to go downstairs and wash dishes, so I'll just plug in my my beats and listen to it, and then whatever time I have left, I want to make a little dent on this because I have to return this to the library tomorrow, and we'll see. Maybe I'll extend it to when I can finish this. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just cut it off at 12 o'clock. But on this one, I am on page 50. So, and the book is 270 pages long. I think I can do it. I should see if they have the audiobook for it. Maybe I can breeze through it a little bit more. But yeah, that's my update for right now. I'm having a great time, you guys. I'm so glad I decided to do this. I just don't understand how when other people do these 24-hour readathons, they read like 3 or 4 books. Maybe when I see people do 24-hour readathons, I really haven't noticed, or I can't remember right now if they're just reading shorter books and they're getting through books quicker because they're shorter. But I decided to pick a 400-page book. But again, I picked this because it was part of a read along that I joined, and I really wanted to read this because I've noticed a pattern when I'm doing read-alongs, joining read-alongs and things like that. I tend to hesitate with reading the books that I have to read, even though I'm dying to read said book. So I really wanted to get to this so I can say, hey, you know what? I finished the book that I joined a read-along for, because every time the discussions happen on the chats and stuff, I'm just like, oh, well, I didn't get to read it. What is that? What is that? Hey guys, I am so sleepy. It's 1:30 in the morning, and I went over by a little bit, by an hour and a half, but I finished House of Salt and Sorrow. I really enjoyed this one. I ended up giving it 3 stars, and I'm glad I was able to read this whole thing today. So it was a very nice reimagining of the 12 Dancing Princesses. It was dark. It got a little bit darker. I know that I was saying that I wish it would get darker. It did get a little bit darker. It got a lot weird, but it was overall a good read. So I'm glad I finished this one. Then last night I finished the last 100 pages of The Winter People. Oh my gosh, I love this book so much. 5 stars. I talked about it enough yesterday, so I'm not going to bore you again. But if you haven't read this, please do. It's so good. And then I read 50 pages of Ornaments of Death. I'm going to try to finish it tomorrow so that I can take it back to the library. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I won't even finish it, but I don't know. I won't know until tomorrow, but I know that I do have to return it by the end of the day tomorrow. So that was everything I read. I ended up reading 573 pages for this 24-hour readathon. I'm so happy with my results. I'm so happy I did this and I got some reading in. I'm glad that I was able to finish 2 books. Or finish, yeah, I finished 2 books. I mean, I didn't read this one completely, but I finished 2 books, so that leaves me at 3 books for the month. Oh Lord. This was fun. I'm proud of myself for going on 4 hours of sleep, and I'm still up. I'm still here like, hey, let's do this. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on this little 24-hour journey with me. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.